Welcome into the Michigan Football Report here on a Monday. 50 some hours past Michigan's absolutely embarrassing performance on the road in Wisconsin. We've got a big time rumor show, letting you guys know all of the things happening surrounding Michigan head football coach Jim Harbaugh following just an awful performance against Wisconsin on Saturday, 35-14 loss to the Badgers. You saw on Saturday I didn't put out my gambling picks because I've got the inside crew of people who got started with Action Network. The Action Network app is the only app I use to help me make decisions on where to put my hard-earned money on college football and the NFL. The people who got started this weekend got in with my group. Chatsports.com/deal. Get you 40% off their $10 monthly subscription to $10.99 down to $5.99. And if you do sign up with them, email us, goblue@chatsports.com. And when you do, I will start sending you my weekly college football picks, the ones I'm not putting on Twitter. Got an amazing record this year. I'm something like 65% on the year in college football. Goblue@chatsports.com. Get going with the Action Network. 40% off at chatsports.com/deal. Let's take it to the Jim Harbaugh hot seat rumor roundup. All kinds of things happening surrounding Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh. And the biggest one is what started about, 8 minutes into the game on Saturday, is Jim Harbaugh on the hot seat. I would have told you no way in hell coming into this season. I would have told you probably no way in hell until Ben Mason, your backup defensive tackle, took the first carry of the game for the Wolverines inside the 10 and fumbled. I'm giving this one 3 Harbaugh heads, folks. And if you've seen the show before, which I know you have, that means it is pretty likely, not that he's getting fired, not that Jim Harbaugh's not going to be the coach tomorrow by any means, but the hot seat, meaning the results matter. If he wasn't on the hot seat maybe a year ago, maybe his second season, go 6-6, not in the hot seat. But this is year 5. If you lose 5 games, if you lose 6 games, you are going to potentially lose all support you have within this football program. 2019, the contract for this season has 2 years left after this year. Has lost a lot of support publicly. Jake Long, Steve Hutchinson, Charles Woodson, 3 guys, first pick in the NFL draft, a couple future Hall of Famers. His buyout, if they fire him or he were to leave after this season, $11 million. 3 Harbaugh heads on this one. And as you see here, this was put out by the Michigan Student Newspaper, the Michigan Daily's Twitter account. Fire Harbaugh was painted on the Michigan campus rock sometime during the game on Saturday. You see that hashtag Fire Harbaugh, big maize and blue letters right in the middle of the campus on the big rock that the fraternities, the sororities paint to have their letters on there. Now, Fire Harbaugh is the message that the students are delivering out there to the decision makers. How about Steve Hutchinson? Former 5-6-time first-team All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowler, I think it is. Back-to-back years, he is a NFL Hall of Fame finalist, 2018, 2019. And this is a little, I don't know what's the word for it. He doesn't come out and say what I think he means here, but this is what he tweeted at 1:14 p.m. So this is right about the time Wisconsin went up 28-0. It's time next. Hashtag Michigan. What does that mean? I don't know. Next. It's time. You infer what you think that might mean. After then, we see this tweet later on in the day, somewhere about, is it 30 minutes later? Is that what it is? So this is kind of the beginning of the second quarter, I'm guessing, right around the time Wisconsin went up 35-0. I think I could speak for a lot of former Michigan players when I say, forget about winning. How about we just compete? And if you look at Jim Harbaugh in the last 5 games, folks, 3 games of the last 5, the only teams they play with a pulse, they've been absolutely blown out of the building. Not even competitive, not even close to competitive, was what the Harbaugh Wolverines got in those 3 games. And the blowout losses are piling up for this program. Jim Harbaugh, 3 games into 5 years, basically 3 games more than Brady Hoke coached as the Wolverines coach, now has as many blowout losses, 17-point or more losses, that Hoke did in his 4 seasons. Not nearly as many as Rich Rod had, 11 losses in his 3 years by 17 or more. But look at that stat at the top. Basically, Bo Schembechler, hired in 1969, to his last legacy assistant coach, Lloyd Carr, in the 2007 season, 8 losses. And what is that? Quick math, Brett. Is that 38 seasons? 38 seasons. You had 8 losses of 17 points or more. 69 to 2007, 38 seasons, 8 losses. Since then, last 12, 13 seasons, you have had 21 losses by 17 or more. So by the time this year is up, Jim Harbaugh, 5 now, could he have 8? Could have as many blowout losses of 17 points or more that the entire program had in the 38 years that Bo Schembechler was the coach until a year after his death, died November 2006 through the 2007 season. Is Jim Harbaugh on the hot seat, folks? Is Jim Harbaugh on the hot seat? Not the hot seat necessarily like he's getting fired tomorrow. I don't want you guys to think that's what the hot seat means. Is he on the hot seat with you? Is he on the hot seat with the university? Type yes. If it's no, he's a Michigan man. 3 10-win seasons, that's enough for Michigan. Beating Ohio State doesn't matter anymore. Type N. Maybe even type N if you think he's going to turn it around and Michigan wins, 8 of the last 9 regular season games, makes it into a Big Ten bowl game. If you think that's what's going to happen, go ahead and type N. As we keep it moving here on the Michigan Football Report from Chat Sports, showing you the Harbaugh Heads rumor meter. There's some sources out there that say we might need to change this to somebody else's rumor meter because Harbaugh might not be the coach anymore. They have to hire a graphical wizard to create little miniature heads of the new coach. 0 Harbaugh heads. If you see it out there, that means it was reported by Sam Webb, Isaiah Hull, or John Jansen tweeted it out. That means it is fake news from the North Korea media department. Don't believe those guys. I have proven once again I am the only one who has tapped Jim Harbaugh's phone. 0 Harbaugh heads means it's fake news. All the way up to the 4 Harbaugh heads. That means Yoder had it first. F-A-C-K, fact. That is how we spell it here at the Michigan Football Report because that's how Jim Harbaugh spells it. May have to change that spelling here in the future. You never know. How about the gambling odds, folks? What do the bookmakers say? They make a lot of money on people making wild, crazy projections into the future. Like, is Nick Saban going to be Alabama's coach in 2024? I don't know, but I'm going to put $100 on it that says he is or isn't. Probably forget I even made that bet by the time 2024 came around. But more near-term odds. Next season. And if this were to change, we'd know about it in 3 months from now, 3.5 months from now. The odds are suggesting that Michigan's going to have a new coach. Well, people are talking 2 Harbaugh heads on this one because the offshore books are starting to release odds today, Monday morning, this morning, saying that, hey, here's the odds on the next coach, and also, what are the odds that Jim Harbaugh is even the coach himself? So let's take a look at the candidates that the sports books are putting out to be Michigan's next head coach. I love David Shaw, my boy. We've talked recruiting while watching Warrior games many a times, but nevertheless, I don't think David Shaw is the right guy to come in and take over after Jim Harbaugh in this situation. Kyle Whittingham, Dino Babers, Bronco Mendenhall, those are the top 4 candidates. Then you're getting some spicy candidates here, kind of outside the top 4 as far as the odds are concerned. Urban Meyer of Fox Sports, the leading candidate for the USC job, according to many people, plus 700 odds. I would literally chop off my left hand if Urban Meyer was Michigan's coach next year. On the record, clip that, production team, clip that footage. We'll bring out the cameras and everything, chop my left hand off if Urban gets the job. Mike Gundy, not that excited about. Might have been more excited when he was 40. Now he's like 52. Not interested in Gundy. Certainly have no interest in Adam Sandler's dopey younger brother, Luke Fickell, at plus 800 odds. So only one guy on that list I would really be excited about, and that's Urban Meyer. And stop it, you people, with the, Urban's a bad guy, all that stuff. Do you want to win football games, or do you want to, do you want to win YMCA Humanitarian of the Year awards? I want to win football games if I'm a Michigan football fan. Here are the odds on Jim Harbaugh being the head coach at Michigan next year. If you say yes, it is even money. Meaning you put 100, he's still the coach. You think, yes, Harbaugh's my boy, you're going to get your 100 back, win 100. But if you say no, meaning you think you want to put money that he's not going to be the head coach, you got to put up 140 to win 100. So the odds here are saying they think they want more people. They are saying that if you want the no odds, you got to put up more cash. So the sports books are saying that right now it is more likely that Jim Harbaugh is not the coach, at least as far as the gambling is concerned, than if he would be the coach. So pretty interesting stuff because the odds last year were nowhere near that. But if Jim Harbaugh were to not be Michigan's coach next season, whether he leaves, whether they fire him, whatever it is, who is your pick to coach Michigan in 2020 and beyond? I've thought about a few potentials. I like the coach at Iowa State, the head coach. I like Clemson's defensive coordinator. A lot of interesting candidates out. Certainly a big-time different candidate pool than we saw in 2014 when Jim Harbaugh was the one and only candidate in a lot of people's minds to take that job. Guys, we are on the Michigan Football Report YouTube channel, youtube.com/MichiganTV. news, rumors, inside information. You won't be the only guy sitting there saying, "Oh baby, big day for Zach Charbonnet," when Ben Mason gets the carry, because you saw it on the Michigan Football Report that he was hurt. You didn't listen to these guys out there just putting out fake news, doing whatever the program says. Michigan Football Report, youtube.com/Michigan TV. Subscribe today. We're getting close to that 5,000 subscriber number. I won't have to tell you to subscribe every single channel. I can promise you every single episode if you guys get us to 5,000 before Michigan loses their next game. How about that one? And we're presented by BetDSI. If you want to bet on whether Harbaugh's the coach or not, if you want to bet on college football, NFL, you got Monday Night Football tonight, go ahead and use BetDSI, our chosen sportsbook, chatsports.com/bets. 120% deposit bonus if you use the promo code GOBLUE. Given to them just for you guys. You put in $100, you got an extra 120, 200, an extra 240. BetDSI, chatsports.com/bet. Third rumor on the list. And this is one that we heard a little bit in 2017 when he brought out the Michael Douglas from that movie. What was the movie called? Where Douglas just like beats everybody up and kills everybody. I can't remember the name. Falling Down, is that the name of the movie? Michael Douglas Falling Down glasses in the 2017 season. Harbaugh's look is different. He looks to be limping all the time. Has Harbaugh lost it? Not he's lost it like he's a crazy person. He lost it, that fire, that passion. I've got to go with 3 Harbaugh heads on this one. I've got to say it's pretty likely. Something's changed in Jim Harbaugh from what we saw his first few years at Michigan, from what we saw when he was at Stanford. A lot of rumblings out there that he's lacking passion, that his medical issues. I know we heard over the summer or whenever it was, he said in a podcast that he's had a lot of issues with his knee. We've heard rumors about a hip injury. 3 losses in his last 50 games, or his last 3 losses in his last 5 games by 21 or more. In his first 50 games at Michigan, he's coached 55 games. First 50, 1 loss by 21 or more. 3 in his last 5, folks. And the games on the road are telling the story that all the pundits and the media haters out there that want to say, hey, Harbaugh's not the right guy. He got lucky at Stanford there, Andrew Luck. He got lucky with a stacked 49ers defense, but didn't really develop any players there. All those people are looking right. When you look at these numbers, 0-6 on the road against the top 20. He's 1-6 against the top 25, but that one win was last year against a Michigan State team that was ranked 24th and went 77-6 on the season. So they were nowhere near the top 25, put up like 4 points in their bowl game against Oregon. 0-6, outscored 225 to 141 in these 6 road games in his 10 years Michigan's head coach on the road. Lloyd Carr, winning record, winning at like a 700 clip against top 10 teams against Michigan overall. Really good record on the road. Would go into places like Penn State and blow out number 2 Penn State like 34-8. Carr got it done. Jim Harbaugh not getting it done. And it's the same story every time. The offense falls apart. The play calling is uncreative. They do something absolutely stupid. If you remember the bowl game a few years ago when they handed the ball off, I believe they handed it off to Sean McCune, if my memory is, correct me wrong. They handed it off. What happened there? Oh, yeah. McCune, not a running back. You're handing it off to him. He fumbled, lost the ball. Michigan fell apart from there. What happens here? For some reason, I think despite me only, you put Zach Charbonnet in the game for the first play, gets absolutely barreled over. You could tell his knee is hurt, like I said it was. And then the next play for Michigan, the next 2 plays, you throw to Nico Collins, bad pass by Shea, and you hand it off to your backup defensive tackle. Your backup defensive tackle when you're on the road against a top 15 team. He fumbles. What'd you expect to happen? This isn't Ben Mason taking snaps and reps of the pro-style offense like he had been the last couple seasons. 3 Harbaugh heads in this one. I want Jim Harbaugh to come back. I want him to say, you know what? F it. We're going to take on the world here, folks. Everyone's doubting us again. Everyone watching the show, I know, is doubting Michigan football. Where's the fire? Where's the passion? Where is the, a player is bleeding from his head? I heard this story about Stanford, and you take some of that blood and you rub it on your face like war paint. That has happened with Jim Harbaugh in the last 10 or so years. Where's that passion from this coach? I don't know. But if they're not going to lose 4 or 5 more games this year, he needs to find it. That is the word on Jim Harbaugh today here in the Michigan Football Report. We're going to be back all week with all kinds of news, rumors, some really interesting stuff about Josh Gaddis and his resume that people are putting out there. I'll address those rumors. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Michigan Football Report. Put all my inside scoops there. I've made the account private again. If you haven't yet, folks, Make sure you subscribe to the Michigan Football Report. And while you're waiting for the game, go ahead and watch these latest videos from me on the game against Wisconsin. Go Blue.